year to the current Kenya shillings 370 billion for financial year 2022-2023, representing a consistent annual average growth of 35%. Mr. Speaker, that was an important fight that we fought together as a House. The infamous, or the rather famous in the Senate, revenue formula debacle that lasted a good 10 weeks, Mr. Speaker. With all the intrigues and all the challenges that came with it, senators stood firm in this House. And thanks to Senate fighting together as a House, we had a steep jump in resources allocated to counties. In fact, the previous year, 2020-2021 financial year had been 316 billion. But thanks to that fight, we were able to grow it to 370 billion in the subsequent financial year, courtesy of the good work that senators did. Another hallmark of the third Senate was the consideration and the passage of the third basis for revenue allocation among county governments. Through robust debates, the Senate emerged stronger than ever before and demonstrated its commitment. Mr. Speaker, these 10 years have not been without its challenges, but the Senate rose to the task and committed to upholding the principles of democracy, transparency, and accountability. This milestone marks a decade of dedicated service to the people of Kenya, as the Senate has played a vital role in shaping the country's legislative and governance agenda. Through its oversight role, the Senate has ensured that the public resources are used for the better of Kenyans and has held public officials accountable for their actions. As we commemorate this milestone, Mr. Speaker, we recognize the hard work and the dedication of the current and former senators who have worked tirelessly to ensure that the Senate remains a strong and effective institution. We acknowledge the support of the Kenyan people who have placed their trust in the Senate to represent their interests. Mr. Speaker, just reflecting upon, I thought as well on some of what many might consider to be among the highs, just as I've listed quite a number, and what perhaps where there is a high, Mr. Speaker, there has to be a low. The world and life generally is sinusoidal. It rises and it falls. And I remember quite a number. The passage of the security laws, Mr. Speaker, Amendment Bill of 2014, quite a difficult and a challenging time for us in Parliament. The passage of the revenue generation sharing formulas, the three of them, Mr. Speaker, have been quite a challenge in this House, Mr. Speaker. I have been lucky to witness all three, Mr. Speaker, and I know while each has been unique and has had its own difficulties and nuances associated with dividing anything money-related, Mr. Speaker, each has been unique, but I'm glad that on all three occasions, Senate emerged the winner. Of course, the first and the second Senate Mashinani sittings in Kitui goes down as a high. Mr. Speaker, the suspension of the Senate sittings in solidarity with senators arrested over the second generation revenue sharing formula. That was quite a high. We came together and pulled together close ranks across political party divides, Mr. Speaker, and ensure that our colleagues who had been arrested in the course of their duty were brought back to this House before debate could commence on anything, Mr. Speaker. That was quite a high. It's not every day, Mr. Speaker, that colleagues close ranks and fight for each other. Oversight of the county, oversight of county governments and assemblies by Senate committees are quite an important exercise that we partake through our various committees, Mr. Speaker. Well-coordinated impeachment processes bringing order to county governments, Mr. Speaker. We have saved governors on these floors. We've hanged some, Mr. Speaker. Both very difficult experiences. On days where we have acquitted some, hasn't been easy. Most of the times, Mr. Speaker, we've had to sit until very late at night. There are some that we've sat up to almost 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning because of statutory deadlines, Mr. Speaker. But all in all, we guided the specific county assemblies in the right way, complete with a exit report from the committee or the plenary, Mr. Speaker, guiding them on what to do and handle